This segment is sponsored by the local Edward Jones office of Lee Colvin. The host of the show and Edward Jones have an existing business relationship. This event is not a testimonial of services provided by Edward Jones financial advisor Lee Colvin.
Rutherford Issues with Brian Barrett on FM 101.9 and AM 1450 Murfreesboro, FM 100.5 Smyrna. Listen and watch at WGNSradio.com.
Rutherford Issues is powered by Middle Tennessee Electric. For nearly 90 years, MTE has provided the reliable service and peace of mind that we count on. Manage your account anytime at MTE.com or through the very classy My MTE app. Speaking of classy, Lee Colvin, Edward Jones financial advisor, joins us here in studio this morning.
How you doing, buddy?
When I think of class, I look at you and there it is, the definition.
Well, I appreciate it. There are so many classier people than me.
Making it all right through this winter?
Yeah. It's supposed to be a bright and sunny day, so I'm looking forward to it.
76 on Thursday.
Isn't that crazy?
You're going to break out the short suit?
Just like a 5-year-old.
Short sleeve, coat and
Absolutely.
that should be a thing, though, don't you think?
No,
You
absolutely
don't?
not. Certainly not. Oh, goodness, that would be rough.
Well, Lee is Edward Jones financial advisor and comes in every couple of weeks as we really kind of focus on your finances. And today we're going to talk about your credit score and how your credit score can play a surprising role in your financial life. I'm finding this having conversations with my young adult children.
Yeah.
They are finding these things out on their own. And the fact that, Dad tried to put them in good situations when they did buy their first vehicle and payments that they could pay and pay in time. And that, it's helped them with home buying, renting, things like that. So
Absolutely.
Dad of the year, I know. But, they're certainly finding out how adulthood is fun, right?
It is such a good time. Yeah, and that's it, right, Brian? I mean, from renting an apartment to getting a cell phone plan, everything today, it looks at your credit score, and that credit score can open doors or it can close those doors. Mm-hmm. So, your credit score predicts how likely it is that you are able to pay your bills on time. So lenders, landlords, maybe even some employers, many times they'll use this number to evaluate how responsible you appear to be on a day in, day out basis. And a higher score signals that you're reliable with money, mm-hmm. which can lead to lower interest rates on loans, better insurance premiums, easier access to credit. While some service providers may even waive security deposits if you have a strong enough score.
So this is kind of funny, but reminds me that, one of the kids, I can't remember which one, said, so what is, do you know about the FICO? I said, what are you talking about? Well, the FICO score. You mean the FICO score? Yeah, I guess it's that one. So, I guess that's the most common scoring system is the FICO scoring range, right?
It is. And this system, the scoring system ranges from 300 to 850.
Okay.
A score above 670 is considered good, while anything above 740 is very good, and above 800 is exceptional.
Okay.
Now, Brian, most scoring models look at similar factors, with payment history being the most important. How well do you pay? Making payments on time accounts for 35% of your FICO score, So even one late payment can hurt you.
What's the second biggest factor?
That's going to be credit utilization for 30% of your score. So basically, this measures how much credit you're using compared to your total available credit. So try to keep this below 30%. Other factors in this can also include the length of your credit history. This accounts for 15%. New credit applications accounts for 10%. And your mix of different credit types also accounts for 10%.
So if you've got like 15 credit card applications, that, kind of sends a red flag on the FICO. I got it. So help me with this statement. It's much easier to maintain a good credit score than to rebuild one after it drops. Would that be a true statement?
I definitely believe so. A single missed payment can stay on your report for 7 years.
Wow.
One missed payment can stay on the report for 7 years. This can drag your score down and make it harder to qualify for loans or favorable interest rates in the future. And the prevention is far simpler than repair.
Sure.
Just making the payment and not being late can keep you ahead of the game.
Lee Colvin is here, Edward Jones financial advisor, and we're talking about your credit score, how much, your credit score matters more than you might think. We're looking at some of those things here today. So, Lee, if you're looking to improve your credit score, what are some of the basic things we should look at?
Well, Brian, we're usually wanting to see that you pay all your bills on time by setting up automatic payments and or reminders. Also, keep your credit card balances low and pay them off in full when possible. And then avoid applying for new credit too often, as each application can temporarily lower your score.
Okay. What about maybe a bankruptcy? How would that affect your FICO score?
So when we look at bankruptcy, we're looking at two different types of bankruptcy. We look at a Chapter 7 or a Chapter 13. These each can drop your FICO score up to 200 points. So for unpaid taxes, the IRS can report tax liens as well to your credit report. All of these things, as you're doing this, you just want to be careful. If you can keep from filing bankruptcy, do. If you can keep from having tax liens by the IRS, do. Mm-hmm. Just keep a solid credit score.
So for those who are, looking to start to build credit or whatnot, what are some things that you might give us tips on, some things that we could do to help build that credit score?
Yeah, so as you're starting to build, consider applying for a secure credit card if you've never had credit and you're trying to get started, or becoming an authorized user on a family member's account. Some services will even report your rent and utility payments to credit bureaus, helping you establish a positive credit history.
Okay. So, credit reports. How do we find out this information? What is that process like?
You can actually check your credit report for free once a year from each of the three major credit bureaus. So you have Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion. You can request a free copy from all of these on annualcreditreport.com. This is a site that they jointly operate. Many banks also offer free credit monitoring, and then you can review your reports regularly to catch errors and track your progress on the system.
And just an aside here, but with those being the 3 credit bureaus or whatnot, or credit companies, you don't have to do them all at once, from what I understand. You can kind of spread those out if you wanted to do one every 4 months for the year. But anyway, check with people who know. I don't.
Yeah. You can check in intervals. That way, if something may pop up later in the year that you didn't know was popping up, and it may show up. Something may show up in error. I had a company file a default on me that was not even in my name, and it was not me. They were looking for some guy with the same last name, but different first name, different middle name, and he lived in a different state. And
they didn't
I've
know
never
who they
been
were
in that state.
They didn't know who they were messing with, did they?
They didn't. But it also took me about 6 weeks to get them to take it off.
Oh, wow.
And I kept having to call every single week to get it done. So, I definitely don't see a problem in checking on those reports maybe every few months, just to try to protect and make sure there's nothing new popping up on a report regularly.
Yeah. Well, long story short, in our conversation as we start wrapping up, your credit score is important when we're talking about your financial future as well here.
It is. The credit score is an investment in your financial future, and if you need some guidance to help you build or maintain your credit score, a financial advisor can be a great resource. After all, the habits that you establish today will help make borrowing easier and less expensive tomorrow, along with giving you more flexibility to pursue your goals.
Lee, if someone has questions that about this subject, any financial questions, maybe they don't have a financial advisor to help them through whatever they might be encountering right now, or maybe just starting on this road, all of these, or any of these, would you be able to help, or any of the great Edward Jones folks here in town?
Brian, we would be more than happy to. Folks can always reach out to my office at 615-907-7056. Again, that's 615-907-7056. We'd love to see you.
So, the short suit thing, that's not, could we be onto something here?
I
You just don't think so?
I say give it a try. Show us. Take some pictures of yourself. Put it out on WGNS radio. Let us go ahead and give you a public survey on this to see if it would be good for the future.
Okay. Well, you never know. Next time you see me, I may be in a short suit.
Be looking for it, folks.
Lee, I appreciate it.
Have a great day, Brian. Thanks.
That's Lee Colvin joining us today on Rutherford Issues, and hope you enjoyed the show. Until next time, take care out there.